Now, Commitment 2020, questions for the candidates. We asked the candidates for the 8th Congressional District, do you support efforts for police reform in America?
Look, we all support any efforts that make the police better. And, right now the country's having a reckoning as to what exactly that means and what it means for each particular community. Because, as we know, law enforcement is done a lot at the state and local level, and not at the national level. That being said, I do think that the over-militarization of police has really gotten out of control. That is to say that, do all these police departments need SWAT trucks? We're not living, in a war zone right now. And I think that qualified immunity deserves a vote anyway. I would vote to remove it. So those are the major issues, I think, when it comes to police reform. There are other racial justice issues like ending the war on drugs that I support as well.
I think that the members of Congress, and we were led by John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis, our dear departed friend, in adopting the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. So it took some common sense steps. It eliminated chokeholds. It introduced training for police. We've got 6,400 police departments across the United States. Many of them have the exact same chokehold and use of force policies that Minneapolis had when George Floyd was killed. And so our national legislation would obviously address that across the board in all of those jurisdictions. And we have meaningful changes in the use of force policies. And I think a lot of those steps are necessary. Major cities like Boston, like Quincy, like Brockton have made a lot of these changes already years ago, but many rural and some suburban towns have just not had the need because of low crime rates to really address the policies that are in effect, at least they're on paper, in their jurisdictions.
Check out the Commitment 2020 section of the WCVB app or WCVB.com for election news and voter resources.